San Antonio. Welcome to the Happy Handyman Show. I'm Trudy Chook, broadcasting live from Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware this morning. We are also live streaming on Facebook, and you can find us out there if you just go to Facebook and then look up Happy Handyman or Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. I'm so sorry. It's under Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. Now, if you are listening to the show, you know that I've been in the hardware business since I was 25 years old. And so all these things I'm going to talk to you about today are things that are my favorite that I feel like can help you around the house, because that's what this show is about. It's about maintenance around the house, about how to do something yourself. I want to encourage you to do it yourself. And I will also not give you the hard way to do it, but plan B. I always like to call it plan B. So where are we located? We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway, which is so easy to find. We're like 2 miles north of Loop 410, right past the light at Lock Hill Selma. We have plenty of parking here. The store's going to be open till 6:30 today, but we will also be open on Sunday, 11 to 5. So anything that I talk about today, you can find here at the store and the people to help you understand. I'll be here till 4 o'clock. So if you have a question and you want to talk to me about it, well then come on in, because I'm here. All right, let's get started. We're going to talk about a lot of things today. And to give you kind of an idea how this show is going to flow, okay, since we are doing Facebook Live, of course we have these 4 minutes from like 28 to 32 where we're not on, and Jill will be here to show you new things in the gift shop. And then right when we come back, Kale will be on. Kale will give you some trivia about San Antonio, and then by next week he's going to talk to you a little more about lawn and garden. So you just had a show that was so good about lawn and garden, and so we're going to try to tag along after that and tell you what we carry that is going to be pertinent to this time of the year. Okay, but let's get started. All right, you know, I always end the show with, it's always a great day to paint. And then it hit me that I really haven't talked about paint too much. It can take up a whole show, and so I'm kind of careful about what we do. But right now, it's a staining kind of time. People, it's still very nice and cool, but warm enough to stain outside. And I want to talk to you real quick about what you should look for in an outdoor stain. And an outdoor stain, I mean like for your fence and for your decks and things like that. So we carry 2 different lines of stain, both of them excellent, okay? But some have some things that make them stand out, and the other one has another thing. So let's talk about one first called Ready Seal. Ready Seal is comes in a gallon. It only comes in a gallon. It is an oil-based stain, exterior wood stain. It comes in preset colors. So it's not a stain that you can say, can you mix it? That's not what Ready Seal is about. Ready Seal has got about 8 really good colors. Now, and color is what you want in your stain, because if it has color, it has pigment in it. But Ready Seal does have a clear, okay? And what I wanted to show you, I don't know if you can see if I show it. Okay, most of the cans will say UV protected, but when you look at the clear, it does not say that, because there is no pigment in it. We will carry it, but that's not what you want. You want something that has some color in it. Now, if you just put up a brand new fence and you like that color and you want it to stay that color, you're gonna have to get a stain that has some color in it. That gray color that everybody seems to like, that how your fence will turn, that's just saying that that fence is decaying, okay? That's what the gray is. It's not good for your fence, okay? It might look attractive and warm, but it's not good. So, first thing you need to remember, buy a stain, oil-based, okay, because it soaks into the wood, because it has solvents in it, and then as it dries, it leaves color on the wood. You want pigment. All right, now let's talk about the other line of stain that we have, and that's Cabot. Cabot comes in several different formulas. It comes in a semi-transparent, it comes in a semi-solid, and then it also comes in one called, oh, I can't even lift it, Deck Correct, okay? And that is almost like paint, all right? But if you have a deck that was like mine when I came and I bought my house, and I loved it that he had this huge expanse of wooden deck in the backyard. I have a small house. It's just a little garden home. It's perfect just for me. And I had a lot of deck out there. But the deck was stained with so many different stains, and I'm sure there was Thompson's water seal on it. I mean, Thompson's water seal, all it is a wax. That's it. That's not what you want to put on your deck. It's cheap, okay, but it's not what you want to use on your deck. Like I said, you want to use something that has pigment. So what is different about Cabot that is different from Ready Seal? Cabot comes in bases, okay? So you can pick your color. So that's what I did. There was all wood floors in my house, and I wanted the deck to look like it was a continuation of the wood in the house. So I took a couple of samples, tried them out, and then put on a product called Deck Correct, because it covered up all the blemishes on my deck. That deck still looks good, and it's been more than 10 years. And so, but my deck is covered, okay? So that makes a huge difference. If your deck is not covered, you're gonna get maybe 3, maybe 4 years, but probably 3, okay? And don't look at anything that says it's got a 7-year life on it. Down here, that just doesn't happen. We've got too much sun, and if your deck's not covered, it just gets beat. That's why you have to restain your fence all the time, okay? Now, Cabot does make this wonderful product called Cabot Gold. Okay, so what's different about Cabot Gold? This stain has a finish in it. So say you wanted to do your outdoor wood Adirondack chairs, or any wood furniture, okay? And you want it to have a finish, just like the finish on the inside of your furniture, on your indoor furniture, okay? This Cabot Gold will give you that. A couple coats of that and sand between, and you're going to love it. Now, I have to tell you, I saw a guy in my neighborhood that put it on his fence. It was amazing. I can't imagine what it cost, but it was amazing. How can you put these stains on? Except for the gold, you can use a pump-up sprayer. You can roll it on. You can brush it on, especially like the Deck Correct. I rolled it on, and it was simple. It was so simple. And I have to tell you, right before I used the Deck Correct, okay, I had a breakdown out on my deck because I was going to sand it down. There was no reason to sand it down. And so about halfway, probably a couple hours worth of sanding, and nothing had happened except exposing some really ugly stains. I just sat there on the deck and I cried, and I said, I am smarter than this. And I went back to the store, got the Deck Correct, rolled it out, And by the end of that day, that deck looked beautiful. It was the color I wanted. And like I said, it's been 10 years and I still don't have to restain it. Okay, that's just a real quick lesson because right now is a great time to stain. And all of the stains that I talked to you about, we can get them in on a weekly basis because they are all in the Do It Best warehouse, which is where we buy from. Okay, all right. So to segue from paint, I want to talk to you about something that I enjoy. I enjoy redoing furniture. I don't know if you like doing that, but it's all over Facebook right now. I mean, some people that do it, they are super professional. I'm not that professional, but I do enjoy doing it. And I wanted to test out because sometimes instead of just sanding, because there's so many coats, I like to strip it and get it down to the bare wood where then I can clean it, sand it, and start all over again. And I've had this stripper in my in my back that I wanted to try. And but first, let me tell you what I did. I tried 3 different strippers. The first one I did was called Dad's Easy Spray, and all of these are safe, okay? And it did okay job, okay? It was very thin, and it worked real fast. In fact, too fast. It would dry out so quickly that I would have to keep applying it. And before I even get it applied, it was already drying out. So it was not my favorite, okay? And so you might try it, but I would stick with something else. All right, the next one I did was soy gel. Soy gel is made by Franmar, which they own Blue Bear, okay? And soy gel was the very first stripper that had no smell. You know, now they say it has no ME in it. It never did, okay? It never did. It was made out of soybeans, and it is still made out of soybeans. I don't know where you get to and like looking at things and being a chemist and say, let's try soybeans and see if that will work. Well, evidently it does. So soy gel, okay. Now, soy gel is thinner, okay? And it was okay for a level, like the top of this stool that I was working on. And, but it would have a tendency to run. So if you were trying to do more, if you were trying to just do the top of something, you would have to tape and paper so that this would not roll on an area that you did not like. Soy gel is known for no smell, okay? I used it in the house one time to strip off a finish of a table, and I was inside the house and my husband was watching the Dallas Cowboys. And that goes to show you how long it's been, because when was the last time that Dallas Cowboy was winning in a Super Bowl? Okay. And he couldn't smell anything, and neither could I. It was great because you can do this inside the house, okay? With the air conditioning on, just cover up everything you don't want. But like I said, it did run a little bit, but it did a good job, and it doesn't work so fast that it dries out real quick, okay? But my favorite, and the one that I'm going to be using probably from now on, is called, it's made by Dumont. And I had history with Dumont, but their strippers were kind of expensive. They even made strippers that have a fragrance to them. I noticed they're not doing that anymore. They're out of Canada, and this one is called Smart Strip, okay? And this stuff is amazing. It is very thick. It's almost like buttercream icing. So is that good? Absolutely, if you're trying to do a vertical surface and you want it to stay. And it doesn't work so fast and dry out so fast that you can't get a chance to cover it completely. And you are going to want to cover it, okay? And that's for all these strippers, okay? After you get them on, you want to cover them. Dumont makes a paper that they like to recommend, but you don't have to use that. Just use saran wrap. That's all I did. In fact, I pulled some plastic out of the garbage can and put it around my thing. Now, the Smart Strip, this is what they're known for. They will pull all the way down to the grain of the wood. The other ones, not so much, okay? You'll get off all the paint, but if you have a stain on your piece of furniture that you want to pull out also, because maybe it has an orange cast to it. A lot of older furniture made really well, but it has this stain in it that almost looks orangey. And the Smart Strip by Dumont, it pulls all of it out, all of it. It worked fairly quickly. I went back after an hour and it had pulled off, I think it was 4 layers of paint. And then I put the paper back down again, waited another hour, went in there, and it stripped down to the grain of the wood. It was amazing. I was so impressed. I knew it was a good product. The lady has showed it to me, the rep at the Do It Best show. And she showed me what she had done, and I was blown away. And it is not, usually when you strip, okay, then you have to go back and you have to clean it off because it leaves a sticky residue, real sticky. Soy gel is real bad about that. But I had just always then taken my piece and gone outside and washed it down with Dawn liquid, because that's what you're cutting off. Or you can use Clean Strip, I think makes a cleanup for you that you can do, but Dawn's so cheap. But if you didn't want to go outside and spray your piece down, you could use Clean Strip. All right, so I just wanted to tell you, if you ever are working on furniture like that, then those 3 strippers, just remember, do the Dumont Smart Strip. It is more expensive, okay, because this gallon, our retail on it's like $65. Soy gel, much less expensive, okay? I think the retail on it is $25. So it just depends on where your budget is and how you want it to perform, okay? All right, let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number is 210-341-1573. All right, real quick, let's talk about how do you move stuff at your house? And I mean like your furniture, all right? Do you ever like to move your couch from one area to the other? Or move your tables, or make sure that your chairs are not ruining your wood floor? Or if you have carpet and you have someone, it's very hard for them to push a chair. What do you put on the bottom? I like to recommend Magic Sliders. They are the best. They're the #1 slider, okay? And what makes them special is they're made out of a high-tech polymer. Kind of think like Teflon. That's really what they're made out of. So they slide so well. Let me tell you a little story. All right, during New Year's, I head off on New Year's Day. And usually on New Year's, I won't go anywhere. I just stay home and try to catch up on all the stuff that I am behind on, because fourth quarter at the store is crazy. And so I have a fetish about having a clean garage, and I like for it to look like a living room out there. And so I was moving some things around, of which one was a cast iron bed frame that I have that I am saving for my granddaughter. The probability of her even wanting it when she's 16 years old, probably next to nil, but I'm still saving it. So I was moving it from one side of the garage to the other, and it is heavy. It's probably about 75 pounds for the headboard and 70 pounds for the footboard. And the problem is I'm short. I'm only 5'4" if I breathe real tall. And if this thing was really big, I would have to lift it get on my toes to lift it, and then move it. Well, in the process of that, I hurt my back really bad. And so I was thinking as I was recuperating, why did I do that like that? Because I had magic sliders that they have ones that you can use to move furniture that are about 4 to 6 inches long and about 5 inches deep. And you put it on there and you literally can move stuff with your fingertips. I am serious. I mean, what a magic slider does, it is reduces the friction from whatever you're trying to move to on what surface it is. So whether that be carpet or wood or Saltillo tile or laminate, it just takes all the effort out of it. And so I could have, because I had them at home, put magic sliders underneath that bed frame. I could have moved it 5 times around my garage and never hurt my back. So, word to the wise, if you're moving stuff, grab magic sliders. They're better than any of the other ones because everybody makes one now. But I always recommend, and it's like in the sliders, it's first in line because it's the best. Now, like I said, they come in several different sizes. They come in ones that you can tap on. They have some that you can screw in on the bottoms of chairs and tables and things like that. They have some that cup on, where you can actually cover the bottom of the leg, so if somebody is cleaning for you and they constantly are hitting the bottom of the chairs, this will cover it up and protect it. And then, like I said, they have large ones that you can put on big pieces. You can move a refrigerator with just a shove of your hip. I'm serious. These things are great. All right. So let's see. Now I want to talk to you about something that somebody had a question about. He wrote in and he said he was having problems with the mortar on the outside of his house, that he had some cracks in the mortar and it was breaking away. Well, first thing I wanted to find out was how long was this crack? I mean, was it coming from the top of the house and going all the way down to the foundation, where the foundation might have a crack in it too? I mean, that's one thing. He said no, that this was just random areas that he noticed that the mortar was falling out, and he wanted to know what to use. Moreflex, made by Sashco Sealants, makes a texture like caulking that looks like mortar, and it's flexible. Okay, so that means you never have to worry about if the ground moves a little bit. We get a lot of that here in San Antonio. We have such differences. I mean, what was it like a few weeks ago? 30 in the morning, 80 in the afternoon. I mean, that does a number on the ground. A lot of you are not watering right now, and so the ground has dried out. And then the house moves a little bit, and bingo, you get these little cracks that go through it. It doesn't mean that your foundation is bad. I mean, because to be honest with you, I'm just telling you, most foundations here in San Antonio are made to move, okay? Because we have such movement here. So they're made to be able to handle that, okay? And so he was just having cracks. Now, this Moreflex comes in 2 different colors. 2 of the most popular mortar colors. One is kind of a taupey color, okay? And one of them is more of a brown. Well, the first one's kind of gray, this one's brown, okay? And this will work. You just put it in a caulking gun and go through there. I mean, if you need to, you can kind of smooth it out a little bit. If you'll just put a little liquid soap on your finger, that will keep it from sticking to your finger, but you could smooth it out at the same time. Okay? And one more. No, I think we're going to have to take a break. Let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. We're going to take a real quick break. Jill's going to talk to you during the 4 minutes, and then Kale will be here to give you a really interesting tip about San Antonio. Okay.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Facebook portion. Today I want to show you my favorite newest thing in the store. First, I know a lot of y'all know about Lalia, the body care that we carry. It has perfumes and hand creams and bubble baths. So we added a new scent. It's new to us, not to them. This one is called Always in Rose, and it's a beautiful rose scent. Gorgeous packaging. That's the perfume. There's little gift sets here that are beautiful. Great little gift. It's a $26 price. You get a little perfume and a hand cream, and that bubble bath is stunning. Think Mother's Day. Now, also from the same company that makes Lalia, it's called Margot Elena. They are a woman-led company made in the USA, and they have been in business, I think, like 30-something years or more, if I remember correctly. They have a sister company from Lalia called Tokyo Milk. We found this at market and had to bring it in. Again, gorgeous packaging, beautiful fragrances. This is a little perfume, and the one I'm showing you is already my favorite, Sonoran Bloom. There's 4 different fragrances with matching hand creams. Packaging is gorgeous, so these would make great gifts or to treat yourself if you need a new fragrance. All those pretty details there. So we've got that one. So I knock everything over. We also have gin and rose water. And this one's called La Petite. It's got a cute little bird nest theme. And the fragrance is lily, peony, vanilla bean, violet petals. It's all good combinations there. Lots of very pretty feminine floral scents. And the last one is Make Me Blush. So, Lalia and Tokyo Milk, our new favorite thing to come in. Let's see, what else? We've got, oh, wait, one more thing from Tokyo Milk. These cute little bar soaps. If you're looking for just a nice little gift, something inexpensive, these are $12.50. They all have just a real fresh, clean spa fragrance, but each one has a different theme. Lots of little glitter on it. This one says, "May your birthday be a hoot." It's got a little owl. This one's got a little peach on it. It says, "You're a peach." Big thank you. So they almost act like a greeting card, if you will, but in a soap. Now we're done with Lalia. We're going to move on to Reminder Nail Polish. We've had this since last market, so a year now. Megan, if you're listening, we love you. We love your product. These are nail polish, but it's not just any nail polish. It is non-toxic, so that was very important for her to be non-toxic ingredients. But what's really special is it's called Reminder, and each one has the message on the top of the box saying, "You are so loved." And you'll notice each one comes with a different word on it. This one's Heaven, Faithful, which is actually the one I used last night, Praise, Strength. They are very inspirational. They serve as a reminder for you. Can you grab me that little card that comes with it? A little card of it? Oh, sorry. Never mind, they can't. I was going to show you the card that's in it. Okay. So it comes with a little card with a devotional, and it has a QR code. You scan the code, and you get to listen to a beautiful worship playlist while you paint your nails. So it can serve as a inspiring reminder.
So do we have about 30 seconds?
Okay, we're almost out of time. So Poppy popcorn is delicious, all natural. I tried the dill pickle last night. Great movie snack. There's also, if you have a sweet tooth, cappuccino, caramel popcorn with creamy coffee infusion. That's just a couple of the new snacks we brought in. And if I still have time, clear crossbodies, perfect for stadiums or anywhere you want to go hands-free. They have multiple zippered pockets. The little rings on the back allow you to put it either direction you want it to be. It comes in navy. It's very pretty champagne color and black. And we're about done here, so keep listening to Trudy.
Okay, and welcome back to the Happy Handyman Show on WOAI. I'm Trudy Chook, broadcasting live from Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware. We're back for the next half hour, and you know what that means? That means, Kale, this is your time to shine. Kale, tell them again why you know so much trivia.
Well, I grew up, my dad was chief meteorologist at KSAT 12, meteorologist Mike Lozano. And growing up with him, you pick up a lot of information about geography, geology, weather, all kinds of stuff. So today, what we're going to talk about...
And it's interesting. It really is. It's so interesting. And that's why I asked him to be a part of the show, because I thought, wow, you don't get this very often. People that have lived in San Antonio all their life, and they know everything. I mean, they've watched this city go from, not a huge place, but now it's just all encompassing. I mean, San Antonio almost goes all the way to New Braunfels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we're going to talk today about, whenever you watch the weatherman on TV, he always says that the weather is going to be a little warmer here in town. And that's due to the urban heat island effect. What that means is all the buildings, all the concrete, the streets, everything, basically acts as a thermal capacitor. What that means is it absorbs all the heat during the day and then it re-radiates it during the night. And this has a big effect on our local weather. So out where you have vegetation and stuff like that, it's a lot cooler. And even within just a few miles in the city, going from the suburbs to the inner city, you can feel that difference.
Yep.
And that's why generally our temperatures are going to be higher here in the city.
And so, does that mean we need to water more?
It might mean that, yes, yes, exactly.
But that's why it's so much warmer here, just simply because there's so much concrete here.
Yeah, there's so much concrete, less vegetation.
Yes.
A lot of streets, a lot of concrete, and even the buildings themselves block out a lot of the cooling wind effects that we have too.
Well, thank you
Oh, you're
very
welcome.
much. That was really good. All
Okay,
right.
all right.
So we're going to sell a lot of gardening stuff
Yes,
today.
we are.
Okay. All right.
I'll get back to work.
You'll get back. Okay. I did say that kind of rude last time, didn't I?
That's all right. All right. Thank you, Trudy.
You're welcome.
Uh-huh.
All right. Thank you so much, Kale. All right. So it's just me back here. So let's talk about how you take care of your sliding glass door. How many of you have a sliding glass door? Okay. And maybe it jumps, it bumps, and it just doesn't close as well as it used to when it was brand new. What do? Okay, so and it doesn't close as well as it used to. Okay, let me tell you a little story. When I bought my house, the young man, his name was Mr. Young. He was 91 years old. 91 years old, and he was a hoot and a half. Okay, a hoot and a half. Let me just give you an idea of his personality. Okay, so when you walked up to the house, there were stickers all over the front of the glass of the door that said no smoking, oxygen inside. And so I thought, oh my gosh, okay, this is pretty serious if you have to put it on the front. I open up the door, this little man answers the door. He is smoking a Marlboro cigarette and puffing like crazy. And so, I mean, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. And he did not have a smoker's cough. He didn't have a smoker's voice. He was just a really cool guy. And he and I got to have a friendship, a buyer-seller's friendship, because I did not want this house to go to market. I had just sold my other house, and I wanted to buy a house that I could own free and clear. Some things had happened in my life, and I just wanted the security of not making a house payment. And so I told him, I'll take the house as is, okay? We don't have to go through and do any kind of check or have the house appraised or anything like that. He said what he wanted, I said what I had, and we came and met in the middle, okay? So one of the things that didn't work right is the sliding glass door. The sliding glass door, he must have put 15 door locks on that door, and none of them worked, okay? And so what he finally was doing was he put a piece of dowel rod down in the bottom of the track to keep, you could not open the door because the dowel would block it. Okay, how many of y'all do that? Okay, it's not the best. I mean, you always have to go down and pick it up, and if you are to the point in your life where bending down and getting back up again is a little harder than it used to be, then it's not what you want to do. And then they also make things that are clip in at the top to keep you from unlocking, somebody being able to open it. But I found a sliding door latch from National, okay? And it only comes in one color. That's the only thing that's not real great about it. But it's so simple, okay? Just so simple, and it's so easy. So if you had an emergency and you needed to get out of the house quickly, you would not have to lean over, pick up anything, or undo anything at the top. It's just simple. Pick up the latch and slide it over. Now, how this works is one piece attaches to the door, okay? So you do have to use, if it's a wooden door, then of course you're gonna use wood screws. If it is a metal door, you're gonna use metal screws, okay? These come with screws, and I do believe they are metal screws. So if when you come in and you get this, if you're going into a wood door, you need to get wood screws. It does make a difference, okay? They're just not all the same. And then one part of the lock goes against the frame around the door, okay? And you screw into that, and what's really secure about that, what do you have a frame around your door? You have wood, probably a 1x4 maybe, or maybe a 1x6, and you go directly into the wood. That is so secure, and so simple. My son-in-law installed this for me, and it's the one that I still use. And let me tell you, I know some people would say, why don't you just get a new sliding glass door? Well, there's really no reason to. The door performs well, it just doesn't have a lock, and this will work. And another thing, my house, like I told y'all, is a garden home size house. It's small, and everything is small in the house. I don't know if any of you have garden homes and you can attest to this, but everything is small. The hallways are small, the doorways are small, the cabinets are small. Everything is small, so that you can have a house that is only maybe 1,400 square feet. There's give and take with it. And the one thing about my sliding glass door, it's not a size that you can just find anywhere. It's kind of a weird size, and so if I have to remove that door, I have to tear everything out, and I don't want to do that. All right, and then you won't have to. See, this is what I talk about, plan B, okay? This is plan B for this door. I don't want to replace it. You don't want to replace it if you don't have to. Why spend the money? So now, what if you do, though, have a door where it doesn't move smoothly, okay? What do? Mom and Dad had this lake house that they bought. Mom and Dad must have bought 10 lake houses. Buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, because they loved doing that. I always teased Dad and said, "You're not Italian, you're part gypsy." And so they had this one lake house, and there was a 10-foot sliding glass door. And it was back before, you know how they have these sliding glass doors that kind of go against each other, they kind of collapse on each other, and that one was not like that. I mean, the doors were 5 foot wide, okay, and he could not get that door to close easily. He looked at the rails. The rails were okay, because sometimes people run things over the rails and it messes them up. Or if you leave the rails, if it's real dirty and you're constantly running a door over it, it breaks the rail down. But that was not the problem. So, and it wasn't the wheels or the rollers. He just needed to have a lubricant on it because the door was so heavy. And is that a problem for you? Is it that you have to really tug on that door to get it to close? Maybe all you need is just a lubricant. And the one you want to use is better than any other one. It's called Tri-Flow. Okay? I know WD-40 has got, people talk about it all the time. WD-40, WD-40. And they think that it is the answer. Okay? But it's really not. It's not a true lubricant. WD stands for water displacement. And the reason it's called WD-40 is because 1 through 39 did not work, okay? But Tri-Flow has been around for a long time, and it's a superior lubricant. I like to say it's like ball bearings in a can. So what makes Tri-Flow so superior? It's, like I said, it's a light viscosity lube. I am reading this because I want to get it just right. That will allow for deep penetration. And the nice part about it is it's got solvents in it that keeps the rails clean. So if you use something like WD-40, it attracts dust. So then you have the problem of a door not wanting to open and close smoothly all over again. So how do you take care of your door, and how do you use the Tri-Flow? First of all, you're going to clean the track, and you want to clean it with like paint thinner on a rag. It is the best de-waxer, de-greaser, and it's cheap. So paint thinner on a rag, okay? And then you're going to go through and you're going to start spraying the track, just about maybe a couple of feet, and then run your door over it, and then spray some more and run your door over it until you have the whole track covered. And then be careful how you pull the door shut, because if you're used to really putting some oomph to it, you're going to send it through the wall, because that's how good this Tri-Flow is. And it's not just good for sliding glass doors. It's good for garage doors. But where you want to spray it is not on the track. You want to spray it, the little wheels that go in the track, they have all these little ball bearings on the inside. And you want to spray right where those ball bearings are, and spray that and keep those super lubricated. You also want, how many of you have mirror doors? If you live right around here, that was so popular back in the 80s, is big mirror doors to make that room look bigger. And they are great to have, but they are heavy. And what happens is that rail that those run on, they get dirty, the dust, when you're vacuuming. A lot of people don't include covering and cleaning those rails. So use a little Tri-Flow on it, and then you'll be able to move that mirror door so easy. Just be careful. Like I said, if you put too much oomph into it, it's going to send it into the next room. So Tri-Flow is also good for any kind of hinge. any kind of gear, nuts and bolts. It's just a great lubricant. All right. Okay, so let's talk about one other thing. If your track is messed up, there is a answer for that. We carry this thing that's called a stainless steel track, and this little track is like U-shaped, and I would bring it up here, but it's 10 foot long. It just clips down over your existing track. So what you want to do is make sure your track is straight. So if you need to, straighten it up with a pair of pliers. And then and if you can't lift your door out, okay, you're going to cut this track in half and just cover half, and then move it and do the other half. And then you will kind of secure it down with some silicone caulking, or that's what I would use, a silicone caulk, okay? And then you will have like a brand new track that your door will run over. Okay, now I had a question about, and when I say I have questions, remember last week I told you I write articles that go into the Houston Chronicle in Houston, of course, and we get questions from the people in Houston all the time. And one of them was, you said we could use Restore Finish on our front door, but when I read the back of Restore Finish, it says no. Okay, it might, but you can. You can, and Restore Finish, okay, comes in about 8 different colors. So let's say your door has, the finish is all still there, because that's real important, okay? It's called Restore a Finish, and if you don't have a finish on it, and what I mean by finish, I mean the varnish that they do on a door. If you don't have that, you don't have anything to restore. Okay, so you can use Restore a Finish and cover up all the discoloration on the door. Maybe you have areas where the sun starts hitting the bottom of the door and it starts fading. Well, you don't have to strip the door and start all over again, nor do you have to pay someone to do that. What you can do is you take a rag and you cover the whole door and go in the direction of the wood grain and just cover the whole door. After you get through with one time, let it dry. It'll take about, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes to dry. And then go out there and see if the color is where you want it. If it's not, do another coat. It will go into the wood and color the wood underneath the varnish. Because, let me tell you how it does that. It's solvent based. It's going to smell like paint thinner, okay? But it will go down below the varnish and color the wood underneath, which allows you not to have to strip, okay? Then when you're done with that, you want to use a product that is the sister product of Feed and Wax, made by Howard's. This one's called Sunshield. It's a wood conditioner and a UV protectant. Okay, and you know about UV protectants. Like I was talking about the stains and things like that. This is a UV protectant and will keep your door looking better longer, okay? And in fact, if the door looks just dry and there's really not a color problem with it, just use this. You put it on now. Don't come in and look for these right now because we're all out. Libman, except for the one that's going to be on the radio desk. Libman Tear and Wipe Microfiber Cloths. These things are amazing. And they're like microfibers on a paper towel holder. Okay, and you get, I think, like 15 of them, yes, for like under $8. And so for like messy jobs, but you need a microfiber, these are perfect. You can wash them and reuse them, but if it's a messy job, they cost so little, you can just throw it away. Okay, so these are, I love these things. Lots of times I'll stick it in my my lunch that I bring. to use for a napkin. You can do that with your kids. It's soft enough, but it's not a high quality microfiber, okay? It's not something that you want to use on your wood furniture or on your floors or anything like that. It's like a messy kind of job microfiber, and it does such a good job. Okay, let me talk to you about how many of you have gone around the house and you notice you have some soft wood, maybe around a door frame, maybe if you have a wraparound porch down where the columns come in to connect with the floor of your porch, and you've got some soft wood there, and you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna have to call somebody and replace all that wood. No, you don't. There is an easy way to take care of it. It's a two-step kind of thing, and I used it at my house, my previous house. My husband bought me new windows for my house. I think it was a Valentine's Day present. I was thrilled because the house was like built in the 70s, and that was before double pane and gas and all that, and so the house would get very hot because it was just single pane windows. And so he called me one day and he says, Trudy, there is an area where you have a lot of rot on this windowsill. And he says it's going to cost about $1,200 more to get that fixed. And I said, no, don't do that. Let me come and bring something and we fix it. And it's the Minwax wood hardener, okay? And I said, whatever you do, don't let them dig any of that rotted wood out. Just leave it, and I'll be home in 10 minutes. And Minwax wood hardener, okay? That's the first step. And Minwax wood hardener is, it stops the wood from decaying. So how does it do that? It strengthens the wood fibers. And how it does that is, this is solvent based also. When you paint it on, it goes down into the wood, and as it dries, it leaves these wood fibers. You're going to use it about 3 times in an area, okay? And it will harden up, and you want to use it, and it'll get shiny, okay? That's how you know that the wood has absorbed all that it can absorb, and you're done, okay? And then you're going to come in, and this is why don't dig out the wood is so important, because the first time I used it, I not only cleared out the wood, I vacuumed it out. And so what I ended up doing was having to use like 3 cans of wood filler. But if you will leave that wood there that you have hardened up with the wood hardener, you have less to fill. Okay, and then you want to use a companion product with the Minwax. I like to use same products together because they work better together because they're formulated to do that. Okay, the Minwax High Performance Wood Filler is a 2-part wood filler. There's an activator in the top, and you mix it half and half, and then you start filling in that voided area that you have, if you do have any voided area. And then within 20 minutes, it is dry enough to sand, but not hard enough like concrete, because that's how hard it's going to get. It's going to get just like concrete, and it will stabilize everything. That saved me $1,200, and it can do that for you. Okay? All right. Let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. And that's it for this week, folks. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get busy on some of these projects we've been talking about. But by all means, you remember one thing. It will always be a great day to paint. I'll see you next week.